We are currently in the calm before the storm, as the floodgates to Bitcoin will soon reopen. Huge amounts are going to be sent there, and in this video I will explain why. We will look at altcoins like Solana, Cardano, and SUI, which are very important this week. Of course, it will be general news, in short, everything again in a crypto journal, so you know what has happened, what is currently happening, and what will happen this week. Us in a fresh new crypto journal. Hey, great you're watching another new video. In this video, it's the Crypto Journal. We will discuss what happened in the past weeks, where we currently stand, and what is coming up. Like the video if you enjoy. If you're new to this channel, and you like crypto, then it's a great idea to subscribe to this channel, with the button below so you never miss this Crypto Journal every Monday evening. Additionally, leave a comment, and if you do those three things, you can win 100 USDT just like this person. Congratulations, send your USDT TRC20 address to cornermerchant.nl, and then I will send this to you. In this video, I will take it a bit slower, and I will often stumble over my words. I am currently doing a 3-day fast, or 72 hours, of not eating. Friday evening was the last time I ate, and tonight, or actually after this, I will eat again for the first time in 3 days. So I feel a bit tired, but anyway, putting that aside, we are going to make it a very nice crypto journal again. The crypto journal is always in collaboration with CryptoDries. If you like to follow him, you can do so on Instagram at CryptoDries. And if you're on Instagram anyway, be sure to take a look at the blue check mark together. For the rest, you will find links to my Twitter, to the best exchange there is with bonuses and cashback, etc. You can find all of that in the description. Then we start with Bitcoin news. That is always the first segment we cover, Bitcoin news. Let's take a look at trending cryptocurrencies, and Bitcoin is in first place. What is notable is that we see old cryptocurrencies performing very well. Stellar is doing very well because it is somewhat linked to XRP. Well, XRP has risen tremendously, so XLM as well, Stellar too. Cardano is doing well, XRP is doing well. You see a number of meme coins performing well again. The Sandbox, I really did not expect that, 100% in the last 30 days. Pepe, SUI, Ethereum. See, I'm a bit tired, but it's interesting to see which coins have performed well recently. Additionally, the Fear and Greed Index is at extreme greed. Many people see this as negative, of course, and it can be negative if it coincides with a number of other aspects, but extreme greed also drives the market up significantly. But the harder it goes up, the sooner the chance of a big pullback comes. I made a video about that, and we have also seen that pullback, right? Bitcoin, we have seen a decline of about 4% from the highest point, so that Alt-MI, very mild, as it were, a pullback in a bull market can be much larger. But what we have seen here is that we saw one of 7%. If we had a 7% pullback on Bitcoin, we would roughly come back for a retest at 93,300, which would be perfect. That wouldn't be a problem at all. It would be very healthy for the market. But you see that Bitcoin is currently doing incredibly well. And I think that this week the 100K can be reached for a number of reasons that I will mention later in the video. Furthermore, you see the USDT dominance. I have explained this before. When that dominance goes down, it is bullish for crypto. And what you see is that we have broken a very important support, a trend line that started in December 2017. We are breaking that now, weekly. So if we indeed stay below here and we find resistance, because you see there is a support here where we are actually more or less sitting now, if we break that and start a downtrend, then that is of course very good for the crypto market, and you will see significant increases. Furthermore, the Bitcoin dominance is good for the altcoins. If that goes down, Bitcoin dominance goes up, the altcoin dominance goes down, and the altcoin dominance goes up, of course. What you see is that we have found resistance around 61%. We are now going down. Solana seems to be doing extremely well. But we are now going down, and we still need to set a new lower low. So we have this low, which we have not broken yet. So before we can really look at further decline and thus more altcoin dominance, we want that low to be broken, that Bitcoin at least goes to the lower side of that channel here. And the best scenario is of course if they break out, and you can see that well on the weekly. If we break out and then trend down towards that 40%, that would be very good for altcoins, and then you will see altcoins start to soar. Furthermore, we have Bitcoin ETF flows. Bitcoin has seen a record week. 200 million in inflows, 800 million, 700 million, 1 billion, 400 million. An incredibly good week. Ethereum, on the other hand, has seen some outflows. Except for the last day before the weekend, November 22nd, we saw a 91 million inflow, which is quite high for Ethereum as well. So hopefully we continue that trend this week. Furthermore, the options for Bitcoin have been launched, and this is not just anything. The floodgates for Bitcoin's evolution in the financial markets are about to open. And they have opened. The upcoming launch of spot Bitcoin exchange-traded funds in the United States could be a huge deal, as extra liquidity should trigger a new wave of institutional and retail investors. So a new wave of funds coming back into the market. The floodgates for Bitcoin's next evolution in the financial market are about to open. This is extremely bullish. Furthermore, the debut of spot Bitcoin ETF options leads to an all-time high. So they have been launched, and we immediately saw an all-time high for Bitcoin with a record calculated trading volume of 1.9 billion. That volume being traded is of course bizarre, and that is additional liquidity that has come into the market. Furthermore, Grayscale is also going to launch Bitcoin options. I actually don't know if they have already been launched. But in any case, they are also going to launch Bitcoin options alongside iShares from BlackRock. So all those ETFs will also launch those options, bringing more volume, more adoption for institutions, and also retail investors who want to trade options. Additionally, BlackRock says Bitcoin is not a risk-on asset. So BlackRock indicates it is not a risk asset. Sorry, I hear all these beeps going off, so I need to quickly check what is happening with my trades, whether we are nearing stop losses or my take profits. Well, you can see that those take profits are getting close. 10,000 profit on Solana, 2.6 thousand on Ethereum. Do you also want to trade on this exchange? Please do, because BLOFIN is the best exchange in my opinion. It works the simplest. You can also trade with very high leverage. This is 75x on Solana. You don't need a passport to create an account. Liquidity is good, fees are low, and through my link, you even get 10% cash back on what you deposit into your account. Create a link if you don't have an account with BLOFIN via the link in the description. Alright, and then just this video I want to show you.
You are engaged in that kind of education. What do you say? What is the role?
Yes, we think there has been a kind of misconception, which, to be honest, has been propagated by a lot of crypto research and other publications. Bitcoin appears as a risk-on asset. Bitcoin is clearly a risk-on asset. It is volatile, relatively new, and still unknown, and has had regulatory uncertainty for some time. But that is a different concept than risk-on asset. That means you need to correlate and go up and down with the qualities. Fundamentally, the risks and returns of Bitcoin are very different from those of equities and other risk-on assets. And understanding that difference is absolutely critical for most institutional investors and for money managers, because it completely changes the role it can play in a portfolio. If it is uncorrelated, which fundamentally says, that is where you get this potential as a diversifier and even as a potential hedge against some of the macro risks that exist. Some of the US fiscal sustainability concerns.
This is incredibly bullish. One, that they are talking BlackRock on TV again about Bitcoin, and two, that they say it is not a risk-on asset. It is a risky asset because it is quite volatile. Well, that is also not too bad. And this comment is very nice. Risky not to own any, and it is risky not to have any Bitcoin. Additionally, we look at VanEck's Bitcoin reserve. Trump has said that they want to build a Bitcoin strategic reserve for the US government, and VanEck is now supporting that and has indeed backed it, supporting that strategic reserve for the US. So that is also quite bullish. Furthermore, do you want to join a community? Are you not in a community, or in a community that you don't really like? We have a free Discord community. A large part of our Discord is free. You can join there. You will find a link in the description. I also have free signals there, as you can see on the side. Every once in a while, I give a signal with which people simply achieve very nice results. Additionally, you can talk to the other members. You have support from my team, all completely free. If you would like that, join the community now. Moving on to general crypto news, and that starts with the Bank of China. Digital bank, CA Bank, has announced that it is the first bank in Asia to offer cryptocurrency trading services for retail investors. So also there in Asia, banks in China especially, it seems to be heading in the right direction. Now, crypto industry. For seats in Trump's promised council, Trump has promised a crypto-friendly administration. The council will likely be housed in the White House, says the source. It will likely coordinate policy, setting up a Bitcoin reserve, very bullish. The industry wants to put an end to Biden's enforcement measures, so everything seems to be heading in the right direction. It all literally seems to be falling into place like puzzle pieces. The Shanghai judge has also said that cryptocurrency is legal to hold, to buy, and to trade. So that is very bullish. Instead of banning it, it is now legal in China. SEC, Chair Gensler is leaving on January 20th. He has resigned. That is very bullish. There will definitely be a candidate who is more favorable towards crypto than Gensler was, because it couldn't get worse. So that is positive. Furthermore, the SAP 121 law that was introduced in America, the whole House, everything had voted against it. It actually didn't come to pass that law. What it entailed is that banks were not allowed to offer cryptocurrency custody services, and ultimately they indeed implemented the rule that it is allowed. However, Biden used his veto power and ultimately blocked that rule. Now that Trump is coming in and a pro-crypto SEC candidate, he will push for this again and ensure that the rule is removed. So that also falls into place. So that is also bullish. Additionally, Trump taps pro-Bitcoin Scott Bessent as Secretary of the Treasury. Scott Bessent, a Bitcoin advocate, so someone who is pro-Bitcoin, has been nominated by Donald Trump as Secretary of the Treasury. Bessent's nomination could influence U.S. digital asset policy, possibly including a strategic Bitcoin reserve that does seem to be on the way. Charles Schwab is looking into spot crypto trading after the regulation change. A financial service provider, Charles Schwab, is reportedly waiting for favorable conditions to offer cryptocurrency trading to its clients. So that is another influx of funds coming in through Charles Schwab. We will get crypto on site when the regulations change, and we expect them to change, and we are preparing for that possibility. So yes, as I said, only bullish news is coming out. The June Unchained Index points to an all-time high in crypto adoption. Crypto adoption is now at an all-time high, and I have already shown that in the previous article. That adoption is only growing and will only get bigger. CFTC endorses tokenized assets as collateral in traditional derivative markets, in other words, real-world assets. Real-world assets are being taken very seriously, even now by the Commodity Futures Trading Commission. So they can now be used as collateral like those from BlackRock and Franklin Templeton. This is definitely good for the real-world asset market, and I also think that this will become the next big niche in crypto that will perform very well. Moving on to altcoins, we have Solana. Bitwise registered Solana Trust, which signals the upcoming SEC application for SolSpot ETF. Bitwise Asset Management has taken an important step towards launching a Solana exchange-traded fund. Walking bullish for Solana. On November 20th, registered a legal trust in Delaware. It seems that they want to set up those Solana ETFs from that trust. They haven't released further details yet and keeping them under wraps, but that is definitely very bullish for Solana. Chainlink is working on CBDC in Brazil, and Chainlink is also making good progress and is a coin that, in my opinion, I have always said cannot be missed. SUI experienced a major network outage, meaning the network was offline for 2 hours, which is incredibly long. Many people were dissatisfied with the network and were angry. It all couldn't work. And it's obviously bad. A 2-hour blackout is the first time this has happened since the launch. But you have to consider that Solana has experienced this approximately monthly over the past years, and Solana is doing extremely well. And it has implemented more and more updates, improving the network. So for SUI, it can also be fine, and there is nothing wrong at all. Cardano, also one of the coins that is doing incredibly well right now, hit $1, shot past $1. We already mentioned that in the analysis in the previous video. It just looks very bullish. Hoskinson is doing well. Regarding collaboration, also with, for example, XRP and possibly discussions with Trump about regulation, it looks good for Cardano. In any case, a small preview, we have some things on the agenda. FOMC meeting minutes, we also have the consumer conference, which are important, the unemployment claims, and we have the PCE price index that we need to keep an eye on. So, on Tuesday and Wednesday, we might see some volatility in the market, but I don't expect much from that. Furthermore, there are still large token unlocks, a number that we want to highlight, or at least that I want to highlight. You have SUI and token unlock. It's not too much, 2.2% of the circulating supply. A really large one is Zeta, 1 inch. They are significant. Apex is enormous. And you have Tribble or something like that. Tribble, I don't know how to pronounce that further, which are very large. Furthermore, we also have WLD, which gets 5% unlock. You can also see a reaction from the market. Alright, that was it again, the Kipton Journal. Apologies if I wasn't fully present. Again, I'm tired. I haven't eaten anything for 3 days. Tonight again, purely to challenge myself for those who want to know the reason for challenging myself, to help restore all the cells in your body a bit and to get all the junk out. Look it up if you find it interesting. It's quite difficult, but well, you'll manage. In any case, thank you for watching this video. Give it a like, share it with friends and family, subscribe to this channel if you haven't done so yet, and I'll see you in the next one. Adios.